So that's the last time he buys cheap toilet paper. So that's a topical joke for the morning. And yes, Shirley's right. I was actually asked this morning, as well as in the run-up to this week, when I said I'm coming to KZN, people said to me, is it safe to go? And I said, where? They said, to KZN. I said, well, why not? They said, but wasn't there the looting the other day? I said, yeah, that was the other day, not at the airport. And what's the problem? And then this morning I had to stop out. I had a coaching session from 9 to 10. And the guys that were on it said, I said, I'm in KZN, excuse the noise if there's people walking past. They said, is it safe there? It's like, oh my word, humans. Humans, I've had it to here with humans. But let's just check, because I did decide to do one type of talk today. And then yesterday I changed my mind, so I'm going to do something very different, but it's still going to be on theme, business for a better tomorrow. But who was directly impacted business-wise by the looting? You had loss from a business perspective. Just put your hand up. Let's just see. Okay. Direct loss. Okay, not loss of business. Direct loss. They came and ransacked your place, took your stuff, burned your stuff. Okay, a few people, great. Notice how we were all impacted, but okay, not so much. If you clarify the question, you see the question is very important, and I will talk about questions today. Who was indirectly impacted? They were standing shift on the street, protecting their houses. They couldn't get petrol. You know, show hands, a couple of more people, good. Who was not really impacted at all? Other than through the media, but direct impact to you, not so much. Anybody? Because this has been the fascinating thing for me throughout this process, is that people that were least impacted are the most depressed. Capetonians are stressed because of what happened here. They don't even know what happened here. I tell them the story and they go like, oh, so terrible. You know, this country's KZN. I said, yeah. And the best was one of our coaches, who will remain nameless. We had a session in the week of the looting in Cape Town. And he was down for holiday. And he was like, oh, Harry, you know, what's the future of this country and of our business and where we're going and all the rest of it. And, you know, humans, you have to humor them sometimes, put up with their bullshit. So we will say bullshit every now and again, if you don't mind. And I said, but how were you directly impacted? Yeah, but you know, I said, no, you're not listening to me. How were you directly impacted? And he said, yeah, but I live 5 kilometers from Tembisa. I said, so? I live 3 kilometers from Kailicha. Who cares? Yeah, but what if? And I think the what if is the problem with society. I said, well, you know, with the greatest of respect, you weren't even in Gauteng when all the issues happened. You were in the Western Cape on holiday. And that's why I want to talk about this business for a better tomorrow. I wanted to first talk about, Shirley mentioned it this morning, you guys sitting here are the answer to the future for me and my children and my grandchildren. Congratulations, give yourselves a round of applause, because nobody else is going to solve it. And that's why I launched Everyone Employ One, because we only have one problem in South Africa. Only one. People think we have lots. No, we have one. Who thinks we've got a problem with the education system? Anybody? Come on, don't lie. It's a cock system. My kids go to a good private school. They're like the 14th most expensive school in South Africa, which I don't think is very proud to brag about on their behalf. It's still a cock school. But the education system is not the problem. The problem is unemployment. Because if you give people a job, you give them a choice. They can send their kid to a shitty school, or as good parents, they will sacrifice and make sure their kids go to better school. They can stand in the sun all day at the clinic, wait to get to the front, only to hear that, no, somebody stole the medicine, there's nothing for you. Or they could pay something to get some medicine. And a lot of what we've seen in South Africa, not just in the last few weeks, but the last few years, is because people are not empowered, self-empowered, because they don't have a job. So we are the only solution to the country. No politicians, no red t-shirts, blue t-shirts, green t-shirts, yellow t-shirts, it's us. But who cares? Because the poor business owners in the room are the most scum of the earth people if you listen to anybody. Because my favorite is, you know, even the treasury are saying, oh, no shame, you know. Too much tax is coming from employees. I've never heard such cock in all my life. Because I haven't seen one employee ever pay tax. I've seen the business that they work for pay the tax. So they're saying, oh, we've got a disproportionate amount of our revenue being generated from employees. No, we don't, because who pays the tax? Corporate tax, company tax, you pay that. Who pays the tax on behalf of the staff? Employs the bloody aliens to work there and do a crap job? You do. Who pays the VAT? You do. And the little bit of VAT that comes from the employee, he's using the money he got from you to procure and buy services and products, and he's paying a little bit of VAT on that. But if you look at support, if you look at how you're treated, if you look at the red tape, it's a disaster. So this business for a better tomorrow is not business for a better tomorrow in theory. I want to focus on business for a better tomorrow for you. So you best take some notes. So most of us concern our lives with what is a circle of concern. So we're concerned about a whole lot of things. What are some of the things on our mind that we're concerned about this year? Say again? Safety. Definitely an area of concern. What else are we concerned about? Economic growth. What growth? You can't be worried about something that's not there. Okay, but lack of growth is a concern. What else are we concerned about? Political instability. Well, I think we're pretty politically stable. It's a shit political system run by fools, but it's pretty stable. But yes, we're worried about political stability because we saw how easy it can be derailed. What else are we worried about? Corruption? Oh, politicians, you know. I love corruption, actually, because I love it the way Trevor Noah jokes about it. He says, everywhere in the world, you get a contract to build 10 bridges, you build 9, and you steal the money for the 10th. Not a problem. In South Africa, you get the contract to build 10 bridges, and before the first one started, all the money's gone. He says, guys, at least build the 9 bridges, then steal the 10th. You know, but yes, corruption, worried about that. What else are we concerned about? Business survival. Okay. That one may be a little bit different to the others. What else are we concerned about? Children's future. Yeah. Because there's no future for our kids in South Africa. I was having this conversation with somebody else the other day. I said, oh, how's that different from 1994? He says, oh, exactly the same. I said, so let me just get this straight. We had no future in 1994. You've been worrying about it close on 30 years, and we still don't have a future. Oh, I didn't think about it like that. So it's the perspective we lack. We moan about a healthcare system that none of us ever have to go to because we've got medical aids, we've got medical aid. So we've got this area of concern with a whole lot of things. What can we do other than business survival, our own business survival? What can we do about those things? What can you do about corruption? Well, as long as you're not participating in it, you know, there's not much you can do. So we've exactly. And there's some people not participating in it going, why can't we participate in it? You know? So there's an area of concern that most of us consume most of our day with. And the 47% of distraction that we heard about this morning in our mind being off track is often on this area. Stuff that we concern ourselves with, we can actually do nothing about. But then we have another circle of influence that is our circle of influence that we can maybe do something about. So can I fix unemployment? Absolutely not. Can I launch a campaign and encourage every one person to employ just one person? I can influence that. I can do something about that. Is that easy? No. Will it happen tomorrow? No. Can I set it for my 90-day plan? Absolutely not, because it's probably not going to happen in 90 days. But I can have some influence over certain things. I can have influence over my health. I can have influence. I can have influence over my staff, my relationships, my family, my money. Can I control all those things? Can I control my health? Many people try, but no, you can't control your health. Can I control my staff? Shit, I wish I could. That'd be much nicer, but I can't. Can I control the flow of money? No. So there's a lot of these things that I have more influence of, but I still can't control them. And then right in the middle, so this will have influence. Right in the middle, there's certain things that I can control. And that's why we do GrowthCLUB. That's why you sign up with a coach. so that we can stop faffing around here and making ourselves very stressed, very miserable, and actually get closer and closer to where I have control. Because that's all humans want, is control. And what the problem with the last month in South Africa is the lack of control. Not that we ever had it, but now the perception of control was broken. So we want to focus on what we can control. Okay? So that's where we want to try and be as much as possible. Now, who's ever set a goal and hasn't achieved it? Anybody? Okay, some of you are liars. That'll be all of you. We've all set goals and we haven't achieved it. Why not? Why do you not achieve every single goal you set out to do? Lack of discipline? Oh, it's always the circumstances. Sure, it's definitely never me. It's the circumstances. I absolutely agree. Not. You don't desire it enough. Why else don't we achieve our goals? Unrealistic. Why else? Especially the guys in the back. Hello. They're the ones that had dessert after lunch, you see. Why else don't we achieve our goals? They weren't important? So you set goals that aren't important. Yeah, you look like that type of guy. I come and spend a whole day here. I write it down. I pay good money. Not important. Didn't drive it. Got distracted. Not a high enough priority. For me, it's two things. Laziness and integrity. If you would only do what you say you would do, you would achieve every single goal. Because to achieve your goals, you don't need to generally learn new skills. You need to focus on health. You need to lose weight. That's my favorite. You want to lose weight. Such a cool way. It's pretty simple. Stop shoving crap down your throat. You know what to do. And if you do it, you'll achieve a goal. But we don't do what we know we should be doing. So that's for me an ethics and integrity. We like to point fingers at everybody else's integrity and ethics, but my own internal ethics is I can set about doing things that I don't do. And the other get out of jail card is humans are lazy. No matter what intentions we set, it doesn't really mean we want to put in the work. You know, we want to have a business that works without us, passive income. You know, somebody else to do the work. I just want to come in like once a week and, you know, they mustn't even know my name. I heard that this morning. Seth was saying, you know, he wants to build the business to a point where the staff don't even know who this guy is. He just comes in once a week to collect the money, you know? Yeah, of course, we all want this fantasy. We all want this fantasy. And if you actually understand money and you understand retirement and you understand pension fund, these are all fantasies we're trying to chase, but I'm not going to talk about it. So why do we not have quality of life? And that's what we're going to talk about. We want quality of life. Okay? Now that quality of life that's gone. Okay. Anyway, so we want a better quality of life. We would like a better quality of life. Not everybody. Okay, the rest of you can leave. It's not a problem. Those that want a better quality of life, welcome to stay. So we want a better quality of life. So we need a better quality of results, right? So who knows that there's more results out there that they want to chase? Okay, again, that's hopefully why you're here today. So we need better results. Okay, how do we get better results? So for this exercise, I want you to pick a category, not a specific goal, a category of goal. So if it's a business or a finance or a health, or it could be anything. Pick the most pressing category of better quality life that you want at the moment. So it doesn't matter what it is. You pick what that is, okay? So the first thing to have a better quality life and a business for a better tomorrow is we need to have or teachers. So give me a goal that you might have. Let's look at this step. What's a goal that you have? You want to increase the number of members in your organization by 50%. Good. Do you have all the knowledge how to do that? You have the people that can help you to do that? Mostly. Okay, so mostly is no. Because we talk this nonsense and we're not particular about the language. And guess what? Our staff tell us the same lies. Is that done? Well, okay, well, I use that in GrowthCLUB, so cool, it means yes. No, it means no. It's yes or no. So we lie to ourselves, but then we don't like it when the staff lie to us. You tell your kid, did you steal the money? Mostly. Not. Okay, so the first thing we need to look for is who are the people we can tap into to get us a better quality of result. Who? Now, fortunately, here you've already started that process by tapping into a coach that can help you. But who's the person? Now, if I'm setting a better quality relationship I want, this is my favorite, couples, why this process is seemingly the most wonderful, loving thing you've ever done. Get married, really. You obviously haven't done it properly. It's a ball ache because nobody ever taught us. And then we try and figure it out ourselves. You and I can't communicate, but we're going to keep doing that in the same way, keep shouting, keep still, stay put, and then it's just going to get better. No, I need to look for the mentor or teacher that has the experience, specializes in that, knows some skills, can then impart some knowledge or education. Now, here's the interesting thing with coaches. Who thinks they pay a lot of money for coaching? Oh, 2 people. Lies. Lies, lies, lies. Coaching is for free. Coaches is for free because you must get the money back, okay? But you can pay a coach, have the mentor and the teacher, and not acquire the knowledge. You can go to the sessions, listen, nod your head. That's a good idea. That's quite profound. Geez, that's a huge BFO. Gone. And then you come to next GrowthCLUB and you go, oh, it's the best thing I've heard ever. It's the same thing we spoke about last time that you thought was a BFO. So you can have a mentor or a teacher and not acquire the knowledge and the education. Or use a mentor or a teacher for the wrong thing. So couples, when they go for therapy, what do they generally try and do? Blame each other? Yeah, but what are they using the therapist for? Are they using the therapist to gain knowledge and education? Well, yes, but we want a biased referee. Because I want the referee to be on my side. And whilst the referee's on my side, I think this is the best therapist ever. And the minute she agrees with the wife, well, she knows nothing. That's how we are as humans. So I'm going to be brutally honest with you today. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's what we do. So we need to extract the knowledge and education. Because with the knowledge and education, we can then assess our dreams versus beliefs. Now you go, sure, that's quite dreams, silver lining, cloud stuff, long-term, smile on my face, beliefs, or grounded, hardcore, rough stuff. There seems like a whole scale between beliefs and dreams. Yeah, because that's the disconnect why we don't achieve our goals. Because the fantasy of the dream versus the anchor of the beliefs, there's a whole pile of stuff in between. And sadly, some brown stuff too. So once we've acquired the knowledge and the education, we now need to actually take that and assess it versus my beliefs and my dreams. Come to GrowthCLUB, had some great mentors, teachers, didn't quite like that Harry Oak, but the rest were cool. They've given us some great knowledge. I agree, this is going to help me. It's going to serve my purposes. Yeah, but I don't like selling. And to get to 50% growth, I need to sell. Goal, kaput, dead, never going to happen. So unless I can change the quality of my beliefs and my dreams, this helps me nothing. And that's why a lot of people go from TED Talk to TED Talk, course to course, read book versus read the book. Because we're constantly searching for the knowledge, but we never assess it versus my own internal beliefs and dreams. Is this aligned to my beliefs? Yes or no? Good, then I'm more likely to do it. Not definitely going to do it, more likely. Is it going to actually take me closer to my dreams? Well, I can't see it. Okay, then the human mind is confused and the human mind does nothing. So you must understand this. If the human mind is confused, it does nothing. So if you ever give yourself options, if you ever give a client options, if you ever give a staff options, it's 2 or 3 max. Preferably 2 options. But if you're doing, especially like quoting, people might take the cheapest. So if you give 3 options, nobody ever takes the cheapest because nobody wants to be cheap. They don't want the most expensive, but they don't want cheap. So the human mind likes options, but too many, confusion, stand still, do nothing. And that's the problem what's going on at the moment in South Africa. The rest of the world no different, but let's reference South Africa. We don't have mentors and teachers and leaders guiding us through this. And the conversations that we are having with our mentors and teachers and mates and family members and stuff tend to be pretty negative, right? Are we acquiring the knowledge and education to see that it's any different? What we're going to do to fix it? No, we're sitting back waiting for somebody else to do it. And our beliefs are, well, I'm going to wait and see how this is going to unfold. So let me do nothing in the meantime. And in fact, my dream is maybe 3 years from now, I want to immigrate. Don't have the money to do it now, but that's my dream. So in the middle, I'm stuck and I'm doing nothing because it's confusion. It's okay. Now I challenge the quality of my dreams and beliefs. Okay, now I should automatically have better results. Ooh. Now I've earned the right to ask better questions of myself and others around me. Is this really important to me? Is it truly what I want? Do I truly have all of this checked out? Now, I thought I did, but now that I'm listening to Harry speak, well, maybe I need to acquire more knowledge, okay? So I want to ask myself and those around me better quality questions, because with better quality questions, what do I then generally do? Ask more questions, ask more questions, ask more questions. Then I get the full picture. Once I've got the full picture, what do I tend to do better? I take better quality action. And when I take better quality actions, I make better quality decisions. Because when you're taking action, you see that this is working or not working. The more I see something working, the more I'll do it. She spoke about this morning with mindfulness. It's practice. And the more I practice taking action, the more I actually see that I can make a decision like this. I can see before. The better the quality of my decisions, the better the quality of my results. And these two are very much hand in hand. Better quality decisions, better quality actions, better quality actions, better quality decisions. Which comes first? Who cares? So like people say, oh, sure, I really want to lose weight. Brilliant. What do you need to do? Well, I need to join the gym, but, I'm feeling a bit self-conscious about my body. And, I need new shoes. And, I don't have the budget right now. Yes. Stop. You need to put tackies on your feet and get off your ass and go for a walk. Because once you take the actions, you realize, oh, that's not so bad. Ooh, now I can make the decision tomorrow to do it again. And the more I do that, the better quality actions, the better quality decisions, the better quality results. But what we're often doing is wanting this and not assessing it from the bottom up. Because you're not going to do it on your own. And entrepreneurs are, you at least are speaking, I'm speaking to the converted because you've already chosen help. Entrepreneurs are a nightmare because they think they can do it on their own. You cannot. And as a guy the other day said to me, he says, you get to the point, even when business is going well, you become Superman. Yeah. And then what happens? Superman loses its power because you become lazy and you take the foot off the pedal and I've worked so hard for so long. I just want to cruise. And that's when the shit hits the fan. Because that doesn't exist in business. So if you're tired, great, then step aside and let somebody with energy do it. But business is a non-stop vehicle that needs to be driven. It needs petrol in its tank every day. It needs somebody holding on that steering wheel every day. It needs somebody working the pedals every day. Somebody managing the dashboard every day. And if you think that's ever going to change, I know some good therapists with some serious drugs that can help you. And it's not your fault because the world has got us to believe in this fantasy of passive income. There's only 2 ways to get passive income. What are the 2 ways? Well, inheritance, you have to be the better brother or sister, so it doesn't come with nothing, and still, it's not quite passive, and it has consequences. So what are the only two ways to make passive money? Investments and property. And even property, when you start out, property is not passive, because who they're phoning when the geyser bursts, who's chasing them down, threatening to break their knees when they don't pay their rent, that'll be you. So until you've got a property portfolio that you can employ somebody to do it, it's also not passive. In the beginning, when your wealth is small, it's also not passive because you're managing the investment with the bank. You're listening to this bullshit versus this bullshit and going, okay, well, that sounds less bullshit. I'll invest my money there. But until you're truly wealthy and you've got a team of experts, not, sorry to the guys, if anybody's in the room, financial advisors and insurance brokers, they're generally not the experts. There are some, but the bulk of them are at the higher level. The ones that will say to you, how much have you got to invest? Well, about 5,000 Rand a month. Well, when you've got 10 million, then you come talk to me. That's when you get the true professional. Now those two become passive income. That's the only way to have passive income. The rest is active management. So you have to find the people that can give you the knowledge and use that knowledge and internalize it. Is it in line with what I believe and where I'm looking to go? If yes, great. What questions am I missing out on? What am I not asking? If this is a problem all over again, and I keep hitting the same thing, what am I missing? And generally speaking, you either have the answers already or the people closest to you have the answers. Normally, you sleep next to them in the bed at night. Now, we don't like to listen to their advice, but when they give it, they generally pretty good because they'll, oh, that's the problem, that's the problem. You should do this, and you'll go, yeah, but it's not so easy. It's easy for you to say. Yes, it is easy for me to say. Okay, then you go back to therapist and you start the whole process again, looking for the bias referee and all the rest of it. But when you're asking the right questions, you'll take different actions, better decisions, and that's because we sit with it in our head. Oh, but I first must get this perfect. Now I must first think about this. I haven't got time to do this now. And because we're not actively making decisions, actively taking actions, 90 days goes like this, back to GrowthCLUB going, maybe I don't really like the goals that I'm setting. Maybe they are pretty shitty. And that's when we get tired. Because the number one business failure, if you're the first seminar you ever went to from Action Coach, you would have been in there. What's the number one business failure? Reason for failure? Burnout. Burnout. You get tired. You get hurtful. You get irritated. Because the business isn't serving you. Effort out, money in, disconnect. More effort out, less money in, pick a finger business, I'm out here. And we don't physically move, we mentally and emotionally clutch up. So this is the process we go through. Okay, so that's as your category. You can assess this on your category. Now we've got specific goals. How do we achieve these bloody things? Because many of them have been coming for a long time. So anybody know what those letters stand for? D times V plus F must be greater than R. Coach is not allowed to say, although maybe we should ask coach too. No. So this is dissatisfaction. The dissatisfaction times the vision plus the first step. Many of you might want to get a piece of paper and a pen to write this down. Must be bigger than the resistance. All of us have resistance to our goals. It's not that we don't like the goals we set. It's not that we don't think it's important. It's not that we think we're lazy or we lack the discipline to achieve them. We have variety of resistance levels to them. So we all try and then focus on the resistance. Oh, but first this must come right. Oh, it's the circumstances. It's the economy, it's the lack of growth. These are all the resistance factors. They're all in that area of concern, not out of control. That's okay. No, we need to focus on here. Am I truly dissatisfied? So when you now set a specific goal, are you really dissatisfied with the current reality? So let's use it. You want to have 50% growth, okay? And if you have 0% growth, you absolutely dissatisfied. Okay? And if you have 5% growth, not as much. You were absolutely dissatisfied. Now 5 is okay. 10. And that's why we don't achieve 50%, because we're absolutely dissatisfied at 0. 5's okay. There was looting this month. It's okay. We were locked down this month. It's okay. So we're not really that dissatisfied around our current reality. I want to lose weight. Why? Have you lost some dates recently? No, I'm married. Oh, well, you're not dissatisfied. The wife threatened to leave you? No, well, then you're not dissatisfied. If the wife is buggering around, or threatens to bugger around, or starts buggering around, all of a sudden the men shape up and they've got 6 packs and they're going to the gym because the dissatisfaction factor has gone up. We all get comfortable. So you have to actually, all the goals you're going to set for the next quarter, are you truly dissatisfied about the current reality? Because if you're not, the energy and impetus to probably follow it through is not as great as it needs to be. That's the one component. The other component is we need to go towards where the goal has already been achieved and create a vision for it as if it's achieved. I have achieved 50%. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Is that good enough? Is it not? Well, actually, I'd be ecstatic if it got to 30. Yeah, but I want to. Again, I'm asking myself these questions. So I get uncomfortable with my reality, but I start to get comfortable and like with what it's going to look and feel like. And this is where most of the guys are in the back. Really? No, I have to get comfortable with the vision, because that's why we set goals and get there and go. We get closer to a goal and go, I lost my motivation. I realized it wasn't that important for me. No, it was just never that exciting to start off with, because you thought it was going to be so much better, and now you got close and you realized, not that much better. So Shane said it right up front this morning. If your dreams and your goals don't excite you, you're probably not going to follow them through. And a lot of the stuff we set at GrowthCLUB is fix that one, sort out this crap, more of the same of that nonsense. Oh, more staff. I hate the staff I've got. More meetings, more work, more. Oh, no, it's not exciting, because we're actually just setting to-do list things that are a pain in the ass. So I need to be dissatisfied with my current reality. I need to be excited about my life as if this is going to achieve. Then all I need to focus on is what's the next step. That's all. What's the first step? What's the first action I'm going to take? Because once I take the first action, I go, well, this isn't so bad. I'm one step closer. Oh, now I can make the decision to take the next action and the next action. And then I don't have to focus on this at all. In fact, all the circumstances, all the realities around me become insignificant, because I'm unhappy with the current reality. I have clarity around how this is going to make me feel much better and change my life positively. And all I have to do is the one thing. Just the one thing, the first step to take action. So with every single one of your goals today, I want you to make sure that you understand the current unhappiness, how it's going to make you feel better if you achieved it, and the one thing you have to do this afternoon or tomorrow to start the process per goal. The rest will flow, and then you've got a coach to help you and all the rest of the stuff. But if you don't do that, we just set things on a piece of paper, and they're actually not that important. It's not that they're not exciting. It's just not really my thing. And sadly, the most important things that we should be setting as goals, we don't. So, oh, that seems too difficult. That needs to wait. I first need to sort out the chaos, then I'll get to the important stuff. So there was a great little thing on your piece of paper. We had a good joke about this. Whose business is this? Wonderful. Brilliant marketing. You've got all these people, put it down, well done. And now I'm telling them all to read it, those that haven't, so make sure you read it. When you turn it over, it says, have you ever wondered what will happen when you die? So we had a good joke at our table. Well, I'll be dead. It won't be my problem. Stop breathing, all those realities. But then you keep reading and you start to realize, sure, if I did have to die, the pauper would hit the fan so badly in my business, for my family, all the rest of it. And it's worse for business owners. But that's never something we really focus on. The amount of business owners that have an updated will, shocking. So let's check. Find your business. You're going to have lots of clients. Make sure who puts their hand up. Who has done, in the last 18 months, a review of their will? Okay, who has not done in the last 18 months a review of their will? That'll be all the rest of you. Come on. Okay, here's your potential clients. Because if you don't, the pauper's going to hit the fans and be bad. It's not that urgent. I've got all this other stuff to do. But here's the beauty. If I actually go and review my will, then I have to review my assets, my liabilities. Who's really my favorite child? Who not? Do I really want to give the wife so much or not? You know, so you're actually taking some really important life decisions and having a real hard look of your current reality, which you're not going to do on your own. So by actually reviewing my financial position with an advisor and looking at my will, I'm probably going to do a damn good job of reviewing my business and realizing, what? I've worked my heart off for so long, and this is all I've got left. This is all my kids are going to inherit. They're going to swear at me at my funeral and not cry. But we don't do it because we're so busy setting to-do listings. So your business is a vehicle to serve you. So let's do in the last two checks, and then we're going to go for Q&A. So who absolutely hates their business? They don't like going there. They think it's a waste of time. They've fallen out of love a long time ago. They just hate their business. Anybody? Be honest. There's often somebody that is in that position. Okay, so nobody hates their business. So you still like to get up tomorrow morning and potentially go. You don't like everything about it, but you think you're still going to go tomorrow. Okay, that's a good start. We haven't scared you off yet. That's brilliant. Now, of that business that you're still prepared to go tomorrow, who is happy that it's giving you the life that you thought it would? You happy? Okay. Your husband sitting next to you is love working with partners even more when they're sleeping together, because the yin and the yang of life. Okay, so everybody's still got a business they're prepared to go to tomorrow, other than one or half of one. Everybody's saying your business isn't giving me what I want. Okay, so that's why you do GrowthCLUB. That's why you come to GrowthCLUB and take the step away to go, why not? You go back here. I got the mentor, I got the education. I haven't really done this before, but I should be asking, why is this business not giving me what I want? Oh, but Harry, it's not making enough money. Okay, but why not? Oh, you know, the economy. Well, there's clients in the room. Who's had their best year ever in this room? Not the economy. Okay, so that's, what other excuses can we come up with? Political instability. Okay, the same people that had the best year ever, put your hands up. Okay, good. The corruption, those same people, put your hands up. So our area of concern becomes the excuse to not achieve our goals. It becomes excuse. Because it's circumstances. You said it right up front. It's not me, it's circumstances. But if I start asking myself the question, okay, still prepared to go tomorrow, but it's not giving me the quality of life I want, why not? So let's unpack that a little bit. Who wants to be brave enough to play with me and say, it's not giving me what I want? Okay, we will play across the table, not so close. Okay, so why is your business not giving you what you want? Not enough revenue. Okay, not enough membership, because yours is BNI, so more members, more revenue. Okay, so do not know how to acquire new members. And you have chapters and that they know how to acquire members. Okay, so what's the reason for lack of membership growth? You haven't launched a chapter in 3 years. Okay, so if you never ever launch a chapter again, but every single one of your chapters treble, would you still sign on new members? Okay, so what's the problem with not signing a chapter for the last 3 years? Okay, so now they don't understand the vision. So have you shared the vision with them? No, I said, have you shared it with them? You have, okay. Are they morons? Debatable question, I know, but there are some morons, of course. There are some morons. Let's be honest here. It's just friends. Nothing's going out to the members to say, hey. Oh no, there's a few members that are bigger morons. Yeah, absolutely. So some of them are morons. Some of them are perfectly lazy, and others weren't paying attention, but they used to be okay. Have you shared it more than once or twice? Okay. Have you unpacked why they're not sharing the vision? You have. What are the reasons they say? Yes. And that sounds credible. Not for you, but the one side of your brain's going, oh, that makes sense. The other side of the brain going, you lazy bastard, you must do my business too. But okay, so that's the reality. So what are the opportunities to grow the membership? The one is new chapters. The one is extra members. What are other opportunities to grow? Okay. So 2 options. It's nice. The one hasn't happened in 3 years. The other one, the priority is on the list. So now we've got stalemate. So 50% is never going to happen. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So when we set the goal of 50% growth, if we actually unpack the reality at the moment, it's never going to happen. We haven't done one for 3 years. Now all of a sudden we're going to do 3 in 3 months. Okay. It's your business. You know what planning's been done. I'm going, if you haven't done it for 3 years, you're never going to launch 3 in 3 months. Yeah, but you haven't launched one. But you've wanted membership growth. Okay, so it can't be yes and no. You haven't wanted growth in the last 3 years. Okay. Okay, and how did that work for you? Quite well. And then the year after that, we had COVID and all the rest of it. Now it's not working so well. Okay, so these things happen. It's not bad, and it's happened. But we haven't launched a chapter, whether we focused on it or not. We've got some pipeline. We're going to launch 3. Okay, is that 3, even if they do well, going to bring you a 50% increase in members? 35% if they go according to 100% plan. So now because this is what we don't do with our groups. We don't go scenario planning. Go, okay, if it works perfectly, I can get 35%. Or will it work perfectly? Maybe. Maybe not. If it works perfectly, I still don't get to my 50%. Okay, so I need a second or a third or a fourth leg to the strategy. But now when I go back and interrogate 35, okay, let's look at a 35. It works perfectly, get 35. I have to do less of the others. But let me do a what if. And this is why COVID caught us so unaware. The looting was just what it was. We can't really talk about that. Because we didn't do what if scenarios. We never planned for anything happening other than the norm. So what if it's only 10% from the new chapters? Oh crap, now I have to get 40% from the other strategies. Oh no, that's unrealistic, Harry. That's never going to happen. And then the mind kicks in and then we don't do it. Because we haven't done the thinking. The number one lack in business today is thinking time. It's not doing time. We all think we need more hours to do more stuff. And it's kind of counter logic to say, no, let's take a day out here. Let's put an hour a week to just think. And that's when the people that love you most look at you and go, what the hell are you doing? Why don't you get to work? No, no, Harry said, I need to be thinking. Yeah, but you're not doing anything. Because thinking is not valued as a thing. No, I'm sitting here, dear. No, really, dear, I'm thinking. Harry said I must be thinking. I'm thinking hard. You don't even have a piece of paper in front of you. Tell Harry to cock a shit and get it back to work. So this is what happens, but it's the thinking time, so I can think this through properly. Okay, who else has got a goal that they haven't achieved? Or that they maybe want to achieve? I saw what they did to that guy. I'm not talking. Anybody? The back there, you wanted to? I saw a hand. Go for it. Okay. Nice. Next shiny option. Okay, so you're looking to increase your business by 30%. You haven't reached it because you're chasing the next shiny object. So the first thing is, why 30%? But why 30? No, but why not 29? Why not 31? Why not 300? Why not 5? Why 30%? I actually don't know. And that's no problem. You're being honest. This is not a keep Harry happy. Harry just but why 30? Well, it sounds like a good number. Because if I get 30, it's round, it sounds good. Maybe I'll actually get through the end of the month without paying my wages. But have I actually quantified it? Have I sat down, worked the budget out? And if I get 30%, I can employ the extra 2 staff members, I can pay bonuses, and I can go to Mauritius. That I'm excited about. No, we just pick random crap out the air. Now, how excited am I about 30%? I don't even know why it's 30%. But tomorrow I must go work hard to achieve it. Object, that shiny object. Any other shiny object to distract me from the 30%, please. That's what we do. Because you set a shitty goal. The 30% must lead to something. I want to get to 30%, so for the first time ever, I'm paying myself a master salary. That's a goal. 30%, so for the first time ever, I can take money out of the business. I want to get to 30% because if I get to 30%, I not only pay all my bills, I've got another 50,000 rand left in the bank account. Oh, I don't have that stress. Because the vision of achieving that is appealing. The vision of 30% just sounds like a mood of a lot of work. And that's why the bright, shiny objects are more exciting. They're not going to help you make any money. But it's okay, next quarter I'll go, oh, 30% was maybe unrealistic. Maybe I'll do 20%. Why 20? Oh, I've got no freaking idea. Shiny objects, that's what we chase. So that's what we do all the time because we started with the wrong goal. So I wasn't going to talk about this today, but while we're on the topic, we might as well, and I've got time, yes. Please do.
I was actually said I could pay myself a salary eventually, marketed that, but I didn't connect the two.
Oh,
Only
okay.
now that you're talking, I'm connecting.
Oh, okay, so you're a bit schizophrenic. That's okay, so am I. And I joke about that openly because we see these things as bad things. Entrepreneurs are ADHD, OCD, bipolar, and schizophrenic. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in business in the first place. It's a good thing. You're amongst friends here. We're all the same. But those are not the most best human traits to actually keep us focused. Okay? So we do things that actually has reason, but we haven't spent the thinking time to connect the dots and have the motivation behind it. So I'd like to pay myself a decent salary. You used a word that made me cringe. Eventually, shit, that sounds so exciting. But I actually have to do 30%. Oh, that sounds like work. Oh, well, I'll just chase bright, shiny objects. No. Eventually, some more. You know, I get up in the morning, wake up early. Yesterday, I caught the red-eye flight. I was on the plane by 6 o'clock with all these people jam-packed into the COVID-friendly space. And I'm working here, and I'm going back late tonight, and I'm doing all of that. So eventually, I can maybe one day, if it's not too much trouble business, at least have some money left over for me. No. So this is the first part. MRS, Mrs. Mrs., that's not your Mrs. That's Mrs. Market-related salary. Now this is going to shock the crap out of everybody. Sadly gives me the cringes every time. All of you at home do the same thing. You don't have to type it in. This can be quite embarrassing. Write down on a piece of paper, what are you paying yourself at the moment, every single month, consistently? I'm not talking about, oh, well, I paid the maid and I took a bit here and we had a good month and then I bought a lounge suite, but then I get to kind of give it back because I didn't have the money next month. No, no. What do you pay yourself consistently every single month? Write it down. And if you pay one day a bit more, one day a bit less, no, consistently. Every month you're taking out 5 grand, 50 grand, 300 grand, I don't care what it is. Every month you're taking out the same amount of money. Write that down. Okay, who's excited about that number that they've written down? Anybody? One person, one, 2 people, 3 people. 3 people are happy, the rest, that doesn't make sense. Right. Now you write down next to that, what would you have to earn to come and work for me? Irrespective, your experience, your speciality, your education, you're going to give up the business. You're going to come back to working 5 days a week, 8, 9, 10, 16 hours a day, whatever you choose. You're going to have 15 days of leave a year. You're going to go work for somebody else for a salary. What would they have to pay you? Write it down next to that number. So you're currently taking out the business 20,000 Rand a month consistently. If you had to come work for me, I'd have to pay you whatever. You write them down. Okay, so now you have two amounts. One that you're paying yourself and one that somebody else would have to pay you. Okay, so everybody stand up. Everybody, you need to get the blood flowing. You at home too, watching you. There you are. Stand up, okay? So I said everybody. Thank you. Okay, everybody. Okay, everybody standing up, right. Okay, wait, one person. That's the person that's happy, so you might sit soon. So if you were paying yourself currently, consistently more in the first number than what you think you're worth to come and work for me, please sit down. So if your first number that you're paying yourself currently already is more than your second number, what you would expect to earn coming to work for me, sit down. The rest of you are working for shit. Because you would expect somebody else to pay you more than what you're paying yourself. Not so exciting, is it? So have a seat. Thank you for playing along. It gets worse, but wait, there's more in this very mock commercial and it's not so sexy. So it's called MRS, a market-related salary, because that's what you could earn somewhere else. Now, somebody one day said to me, yeah, but if I could get a job, they could have my business. Okay, you might feel that way. But that's what you're worth. So that's the minimum, not eventually, please. That's the minimum you need to work towards earning in your business as short as possible. Now, when you're new into business, it's not realistic. You might not get there immediately, but that's the first minimum amount you should be working towards. At least as much as somebody else would pay you. So if that's not in your quarterly goal, then maybe you need to revise your quarterly goal and get to market-related salary. Because you're taking all the stress, all the drama, all the worries, and you're paying less to yourself than somebody else. That's true. That's only this one part of your business. The second part of your business is ROI, return on investment. So I'm working for somebody else. Him and I both used to work for Standard Bank. Okay, so I work for Standard Bank. They pay me a salary. I take 5,000 Rand. I go to Standard Bank and I say, listen here, don't you want to take my money? They say, sure, sir. What can we do with it? I don't know. Whatever you like. Will the Standard Bank person look at you a bit funny? And they say, well, what kind of investment would you like to put it in? Well, I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to put it in investment. Well, we've got different levels of growth. So depending on the risk profile, you can get different amount of, no, I don't think I actually want interest. Just take my 5,000. They're going to look at you a bit weird. They're going to start getting me ideas of going, well, maybe I put the 5 grand in my handbag. But anyway, then they're going to say, well, can I have your details so I can at least send you a monthly statement to show we've still got your 5 grand. And you go, oh, no, just keep it. I don't need a statement. Thanks. Cheers. Goodbye. Would you ever do that to invest money? No, definitely not. So why are you doing it in your business every single day? Because you've gone to the business and you've invested money, you've invested time, you've invested blood, sweat, guts, tears, snot, heart attacks, ulcers, broken marriages, depression, Prozac, everything you can think of, and it's giving you shit back in return. So you're not being paid what you're worth market related. You've taken the risk to be the entrepreneur, so now you need the second part of the equation, which is return on investment, and you're not getting that either. That's why you don't achieve your goals. Because what you're putting out versus what you're getting back is a disconnect. Because if I was doing this for somebody else, I'd at least be getting paid 1. With the surplus, I could invest here and I could at least get 2. But now I'm doing all this myself and I'm not even getting the 1. And that's why we struggle. Because eventually it's not appealing to work hard and bench to pay myself for it. That's why we're not too phased about management accounts and balance sheets, because we don't like what they say anyway. We're not treating that as the monthly statement from the bank to go, how's my investment doing? Oh, it's gone backwards. Excuse me? How can my investment to Standard Bank go backwards? But on your balance sheet, on your management accounts, it might be going backwards. Who cares? It might continue to go backwards. Who cares? It might have been flat for the last decade. Who cares? It's my business. I've got a bit of freedom, Harry. Got a bit of flexibility. Over a lifetime, it's only going to cost me about 20 million. What's 20 million amongst friends? Because that's the nonsense we say to ourselves. So I had a lady once said to me, but Harry, I do have some benefits in my business that are not kind of calculated here. Calculated. I said, okay, like what? She said, well, I now can come and go when I want. I said, so do you? Well, not really, but I can at least now go watch my daughter play netball. I said, brilliant. How often do you go? Well, I try and go once a week. I said, okay, so you don't go once a week. How often do you go? She said, well, probably every second week, I think on average, I get to watch a match. This was when kids were still playing sport and pre-COVID. I said, okay, great. So you go watch your daughter play netball every second week. Yeah, that's brilliant. I said, okay, so let's do the calculation. She felt that she could earn 50,000 Rand in the job market. She was paying herself 22,000 Rand a month. I said, okay, so we've got a 28,000 Rand difference there. She said, yes. I said, okay, what is your business worth? And most of you will say exactly what she said. I said, okay, so if you wanted to sell it, what would you want for it? She said, well, 2 million. I said, okay, let's work with 2 million, it's your business. So 2 million, if you want to sell a business for 2 million Rand, it must be making at least 400,000 Rand profit. 5 times multiple, it's a good, there's differences, but it's more or less. Because somebody will buy your business and want to get their money back in 5 years. So if you're selling a 2 million Rand business, you must be making 400,000 profit, which is another 30,000 Rand a month near enough that your business should be making. So you short on the 30 ROI, you're short on the market-related salary by 28. So you're in the minus for 58. It's a bit slow on the numbers. Let me just work it out. Okay, take your time. Worked it out. She says, yes, 58. Quite proudly. I said, so you're paying 26,000 Rand a netball game, 29,000 Rand netball game to watch netball. I'm not. It's wrong. Because you've told me you've got some other benefits, fringe benefits of having your own business. And you're now getting to watch netball every second week. It's costing you 58 grand a month. And her eyes went open like this. She said, oh, shit. I never looked at it that way. I said, well, I'm sorry your face looks like that now because it's going to get worse. I said, because let's unpack your Thursday. What does your Thursday look like? She said, well, it's busy in the morning, and then it gets chaotic, and then I'm having to finish off, so I'm running off to watch netball. I said, so what do you like in that hour, 2 hours before netball? I'm fine, what? I said, you might be fine. What are the people around you experiencing in that hour to 2 hours? She said, oh no, I'm stressed. I've got deadlines, I'm shouting at people, I'm trying to catch up. I'm not the nicest person, those were her words, in that hour before I go to netball. I said, okay. When you get to netball, do you leave your phone in the car? Do you sit and enjoy, be there for your daughter, watch, cheer, all the rest of it? She says, I try. I said, okay, so what happens? She said, well, I can't leave my phone in the car, there's emergencies. And then there's WhatsApps coming through and pings coming through. I said, do you ever take a phone call? She says, sometimes. I said, do you sit there and text messages back to the office? She said, yes. I said, so when your daughter looks up and sees mommy watching netball, is she likely to see mommy watching netball or mommy working? Oh, now she's feeling like a shirt. I said, oh, but don't worry, it gets worse. I said, now you get your daughter in the car. What happens after netball? Oh, no, these kids always want to fart ass around and then they're chatting to their mates and I have to get back to work. I said, okay, so now you're treating your daughter like shit. To get back in the car quickly, not talk to her mates, not talk to any other moms who must go back. I said, and at night, what are you doing at night? No, at night, she's now catching up all the work that she missed with emails and quotes and everything like that. I said, so this is costing you 58,000 Rand a month, and you're behaving like an absolute idiot, and the people that you think you're doing it for are not fools. They're watching you do that. And we all do it. I've done it. I still do some of that. But you cannot run a business and not at least work towards these two. Your business must pay you what you're worth, and it must return money. And if you don't show that money on the balance sheet and your tax guy is clever, that's your business. But if it's not returning money and paying you what you're worth, you can just as well go get a job working for somebody else. Because it is a stressful environment. It does take a lot out of you. You do get old quickly. You do say things and think things about people that you probably shouldn't. We all do. But it's okay if it's paying the bills properly. And then this portion, I choose to put a portion back into my business. I choose assets, the investments, the property. I go on holiday, and then Bob's uncle, now I love the business. That's the purpose of business. Not to struggle through, and eventually, maybe, if I get 30%, which I'm not really excited about, I don't really know why, I can maybe get scraps that I'm going to get money out. No, I have to see the link, because then the link will excite me. Then the 30% will excite me, because I'm going to finally get paid what I'm worth. Now I'm a little bit more excited. So outside of the area of concern, take it into the circle of control. Analyze from the bottom up the right mentors and teachers, the right knowledge and education, interrogate my beliefs and my dreams, ask better questions of myself and those around me so that I can inform better actions, better decisions, better results. And then I go and interrogate every single one of my goals. Am I dissatisfied with the current reality? Is the future going to excite me? And what's the first thing I must do? And that's the package I put together for each of the goals. And if I don't have it yet, that needs to be on my goals. And don't worry about ROI yet if you're not paying yourself a market-related salary. If the gap with your market-related salary is huge, then at least have an incremental jump. Because we think as humans, as we get older, we're more concerned with other people. We're not. We get the more miserable about life because it's not serving me. I'm doing all this for others. With them, what's in it for me? And that's the biggest problem in business. We're so busy doing this for others. What's in it for me? And if that's not right, you'll come from GrowthCLUB to GrowthCLUB. You'll go from to-do list to to-do list. You'll go from therapist to therapist. You'll go from heart attack to heart attack, and you'll never get it right. Because if it's not serving you, you won't consistently do it. If it is, then it becomes a game. You learn the game, it becomes fun, it gets exciting. You're getting more out of it. You want to do more out of it. You do more out of it. More people benefit around you. And so the ripple goes. But I'm sure there's people in the room that have started out with a heart this big, with a vision this big, with a patience level this big, and it's just come closer, 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 and smaller because I'm hot full, I'm tired, and I don't feel like doing this so much anymore. You don't have to say if it's you. But to change that, I need to get this back to WIFM, market-related salary, ROI, first steps of my goals all the way back up through, and then I control what I can control. And the rest will sort itself out. It always does. Not in my timing, but it will always sort it out. So a great quote the other day, you have survived 100% of the crises you've been through to date. And that's true. We've also feared thousands of crises that have never ever happened because they were in that area of concern. Focus on the area of control. Good. Any questions? Any comments? Everybody doesn't look so happy. But as long as the message got across, that's cool. And you'll see, you know, the coaches, I know they're very nice people. They're way too nice on you, I think, anyway. I'm not so nice on them, but it's not about nice. It's about caring enough to move the gauge. And if you move it just a little bit, that's okay. I had a lady in one of these sessions a couple of years ago said, Harry, I hate you. When you spoke at the last event, I couldn't believe I came back today and you were here again. I hate you. Okay? I've had my daughter say that to me, so join the queue. She says, because you forced me to go really evaluate where my business was at. And I made some key shifts and I've made X amount of money since then. So, well, please hate me again today and keep hating me until you are a multi-billionaire. Because business is the only thing that's going to solve this world's problem. Only business. And not corporate business, because they will forever get rid of people. They will be ever chasing a bottom line and do questionable things because of the pressure. People that run their own businesses generally don't do that. You don't read about scandals where a private business has caused a big company. You don't generally read about that because people in the room are good people. They grow, they share, they grow, they give, they grow, they give of time, they give of money. The ripple effect goes. We need more of that. And if you can learn something here today to go do that, then we've done our job. The other thing that you need to do for me, please, is please bring more businesses to the likes of Shirley, Shane, Trevor, Hein, Gary. Because the amount of businesses out there that are struggling, that aren't sure, that have reached the ceiling, that can't break through is frightening. And I say, great, so you want to go to the next level, you've got this issue, what have you Googled to solve the problem? Who of you have ever Googled to solve a business problem? You had a cash flow issue, you went to Google and said, how do I solve my cash flow issue? Anybody ever done that? You've done it. Okay, there's always one. You've had an issue with a staff member and you've gone to Google and you said, how do I deal with a disruptive staff member, an obnoxious staff member? Anybody ever done that? There's always one. Oh, 1.5, okay? But the rest of you go, oh, I've had those problems. I've never Googled any of it. Because the benefit of entrepreneurs are they positive, passionate, hardworking people. Fair? The downside of entrepreneurs are they passionate, positive, hardworking people. They are suckers for punishment that will wake up tomorrow and bump their head a little bit harder and hope that the wall falls down. Eventually, your head breaks or the wall does. It doesn't have to be that way. So make sure that every single business you interact with, work with these guys. Yes, to make them millions too, why not? Because the only way a coach makes money is if you make money. Are you going to keep paying them if they don't make you money? How do you stay motivated? You don't. You just don't. So one of my favorite quotes is Zig Ziglar. He says, people say motivation doesn't work. He says, well, motivation's like bathing. It's recommended daily. You cannot always be up. And in certain situations, you can look up, but that doesn't mean you're up. My daughter and I've had this because she's going through these teenage years and she's lots of fun. And she says, oh, Dad, it's easy for you. Everything's always easy for Dad. If she's talking to Dad, it's easy for Dad. It's easy for you. I said, well, why is it easy for me? Yeah, but you're always happy. I said, yeah, because I choose to be. Am I always inside happy? No. Am I always on a high? No. Tomorrow morning, I'm having our Western region franchise coaches together. I can promise you, I won't be happy. We're going to have some tough conversations. You cannot always be up, but you need to find things that energize you. In the business, because a lot of the things we like doing in our business, we don't get to do anymore because we're doing all the things we hate. So you still have to find ways to do things in the business that you love. And it's counter logic because we haven't got the time already. You have to find something for yourself that you like doing outside the business. And then people will say, oh, I like to take my kids to the beach. No, leave the buggers at home. Yeah, but I'll take my wife out for date night. No, leave the car at home too. You need to find something that you like doing. And this is where you have to be a little bit selfish. Because our buckets are so busy giving, and then we feel guilty because we haven't given enough to the family and the kids and the dog, and then we go give some more there. And then we feel guilty about the church and the charity and the friend that's dying and go, oh, give some more there. And then there's nothing left. And that's when motivation becomes a problem. So I can give you a practical example for me. And now I'm over that time. I used to coach the nippers at Strand Beach. And I loved working with the kids because you take these kids that are scared of the ocean. Their parents said they must do this. They look at those waves, they go, you're crazy. And with a little bit of confidence, a little bit of guidance, they're doing things that none of their parents have ever or could ever do. And I always love the parents on the beach going, yeah, kids should swim further, they should swim faster. And I say, come, let's go. So I used to love doing nippers, but it's on a Sunday morning from 10 to 12. And then last year, my wife says midlife crisis. No, it was by design, goal setting. I bought myself a Harley Davidson, which was the second motorbike, which was another issue because she said, how do you ride 2 motorbikes at the same time? I said, how do you wear 2 pairs of shoes at the same time? So I bought this motorbike. No, there's always an entertaining banter at home. It's not the kids, it's the wife, it's the dog, it's somebody. But now the Harley guys ride on Sundays. So now I'm going, I love coaching these kids. I love being at the sea. My kids stop doing it. They think their dad's crazy. I love doing it. But I need the sanity. I need the break. I need something that's just me. Because I love it, but I'm giving. So I bought the Harley and joined the Hogs, and I don't do nippers anymore. And I'm still in the WhatsApp group, and every time I see it, and they're preparing for nationals and going, sure, I really miss that. But if I do that, there's no space for me. And I know that. And that's what I've had to do. So I ride my bike for the benefit of the rest of the world. Because if I didn't have that escape, the rest of the world would go. So you have to find that. You just have to. That's the way. Julie, thank you very much. I'm out of time. I apologize deeply. Thank you.
Okay. It's amazing what a 2-hour flight work your wife can do and how brave you become on the flight up. Don't we know it? Okay, so yeah, thank you, Harry. I think it's awesome. You know, don't need to tell you from what you've just gone through. Harry talks it like it is, and he's put the challenge, he's laid down the gauntlet. So as we go, and I hand back to Han, and we go into the planning session, please measure the work in terms of your planning that you're going to be doing now against that, against your D and your V, your dissatisfaction and your vision for your business. And really ask yourself, how serious are you about getting your market-related salary? Cool. Thank you very much, Harry.
Okay, okay, guys, so we're going into the planning session now for the next 90 days. So whilst the presentation's coming up, so the output of this is to get real clarity on your top 3 goals for the next quarter. So this is a really important quarter, because if you think about quarter 4, December, January, you know, that's a really disruptive trading period. So now's the time to hustle and to get some runs on the board. So whilst we're chatting about that, just remember the difference between a goal and a task. Okay, so a goal is an output. The goals have to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic within a time frame. I want to weigh 75 kilograms by the end of September. That's a goal. The task is go to gym. Okay, so we've got to be clear. All right, let's have a go like this. So you should be getting your we're going to use. All right, so you can go forward. Right, so it's to look at the goals for the next 12 months, then bring them back to the next 90 days. So it's about getting real clarity, making sure that they're smart, and you work from mastery up. So remember the mastery levels in the 6 steps. That's the foundational level. It's like building a house. If the foundation isn't sound, you're actually going to have a problem. So brainstorm ideas and strategies around the second, and we'll bring it back to the next 90 days. Right. So this is really, where you can put the goals, the profit goals, and even your investment goals. And it's important to bring this back to the MRS and the ROI. In other words, and also make sure that your why is really clear in there. I think, the issues that Harry gave us, really, it's about why you're setting a 30% goal. Link it back to what it's actually going to do for you, what that is going to actually mean for you and your family. Get it down to one page. And yes, that's what I spoke about. So the distinction between goals are outputs, tasks are inputs. And then in the book, there's a really nice schedule where you can actually list out the tasks and plot them into the weeks. So if that has to become part of your to-do list and the things that you manage in the business. Okay, and then obviously also take it back to the 5 ways. So look at where you are at the moment in terms of your 5 ways. What are the different strategies that we can drive in those? Pick the top ones. And when you look at those, it's got to be the ones that's going to shift the needle the quickest for you. So it's all about what's going to shift the cash flow. It's going to make the best profits the soonest. So prioritize those strategies across all the 5 ways. Okay, and then obviously bring it back to 1 or 2 strategies a week. So sometimes, it's difficult to work on a whole lot of strategies at the same time. So pick the ones and allocate them into the different weeks. On the top 3 goals, fill out those sheets. You'll see that's replicated 3 times in the book. So you spell them out there and have a go at answering the questions below that. So we'll give you a sheet that looks like this, and on there makes it really simple. Just the very top 3 goals that you want to achieve for the quarter. Stick them on there. That goes back into your next coaching session with your coach. That's the stuff that we're going to work on achieving in this next quarter. Righty, so everyone should have a red book. So we're going to carry on with working on that, distilling this information through into your top 3 goals. Questions? Process clear? Not clear as mud? Okay, so if you have questions, chat to a coach. We'll help guide you through it. Okay, so let's get going on that.
Okay, so I think we're back again. Can you hear me? Just give us a thumbs up, anyone, if you can hear me. Yeah, thank you, Evelyn. Yeah, so we're on Red Book now, which is hopefully you've identified the issues, problems, where you're lacking, where there's work to be done. And now,
guys, there's some coffee outside if you want to grab a cup of coffee whilst you're working.
and so now we're going to set out for the next 90 days our goals. I always feel the most important thing is do something that's really outrageous, a goal that's really outrageous, but also a goal that's maybe a little bit take you out your comfort zone, and something that's a little bit easier. Something that's really difficult, something that's okay, and something's quite easy. Why do I want you to set an easy goal? It's actually quite nice to actually say that you've achieved something. You can, celebrate a win. But if you're setting goals that are totally unachievable or really difficult, you tend to get a bit depressed. Not to say that you shouldn't stretch yourself. So yeah, work on that. If there's anybody that wants any assistance, please just shout. And then we're going to, as you see on the screen, narrow it down to 3 goals. Your number 1, your number 2, and your number 3. For the next 90 days, these are the 3 most important ones that you're going to focus on. Okay, any questions? Anybody want help? I'll be around. You just shout.
Hi, sorry, I missed that. My phone died, so I had to put it on charge, so I didn't hear the last bit of information that came through. Are we just working on that card there? What do you call it? I can't even think.
Who am I talking to?
It's Arania.
Arania, how's it? Yeah. Yes. Well, we no, it's fine. Don't worry. We've had big technical issues ourselves. Yeah. Sorry about Harry's poor voice quality from Harry, but I think that you got the general gist of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arania. Yeah. So I guess what we're doing now is narrowing down to goals that, remember, to prioritize them, and from that narrow down to eventually 3 at least, your main goals, but probably more secondary goals if you can. Yeah, that's what we're doing now.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. I have to put my phone back on charge because it's going to die. It's for some reason I'm losing battery life, but I will be back online soon.
Okay,
Thanks.
I'll let you in when you come back.
Thanks. Okay.